Over the past few years, there's been an influx of appeals regarding the First Step Act, which includes compassionate release. Some people have been successful, and others were not so lucky. I've mentioned in the past, it's every inmate's goal to regain their freedom. During my time in prison, getting out was always on my mind. The state system is much different from the feds, especially when it comes to sentencing. With the state, there's more room for a parole board to hold an inmate longer than his minimum sentence. They actually doubled mine. Whereas federal inmates typically get a release date set at the time of sentencing. That is, unless your sentence is life. I'll be speaking about two Lucchese members, both former bosses, who in fact received life sentences. Understandably, they both want out of prison and don't want to die there. On May 31st, 2017, over a dozen members and associates linked to the Lucchese family were charged in a racketeering indictment that included the November 15, 2013 murder of Michael Melnish, former leader of the East Harlem Purple Gang. According to the FBI, the Lucchese family and its associates are alleged to be linked to guns, drugs, racketeering, and murder. They were also alleged to have used their criminal enterprise to launder money, tamper with witnesses, and extortion. I remember when the big bust took place. Madonna, the family's acting boss at the time, was finishing up a 5-year sentence for the Operation Heat case. That involved a large-scale New Jersey gambling operation. The Lucchese's official boss, Vic Musso, was and is serving a life sentence following his 1992 conviction. The big Lucchese trial took place in October 2019, and one of the biggest mistakes, and there were many, that Stevie Crea made was replacing defense attorney Barry Levin. I attended that trial as a government witness. My testimony consisted of providing the structure of the Lucchese family, and that's basically it. I knew nothing of the Michael Melnish murder, nor did I claim to. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District, in 2013, Madonna became displeased with Michael Melnish, a longtime organized crime associate who refused to collect debts owed to Madonna. Madonna ordered Melnish killed. Acting under the orders of Madonna and Crea, Londonio helped to set up Melnish, a personal friend of Londonio's, to be killed. Aside from his family's loss, the Michael Melnish hit is significant because it was the last known mob murder carried out in New York. Mafia murders and violence, besides bringing law enforcement heat, can have a domino effect as far as indictments go. Modern technology, available to law enforcement, is one of the biggest deterrents. The Lucchese trial ended in convictions of racketeering conspiracy, murder in aid of racketeering, conspiracy to commit murder in aid of racketeering, aiding and abetting, and use of a firearm to commit murder. In or about early 2024, Stevie Crea was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Since then, Crea's legal team, an incompetent bunch, has tried to put in motion after motion to have him released. The latest one was denied on August 27, 2025, which reads as follows. Order as to Stephen Crea Sr. Defendant remains a danger to the community. For similar reasons, the factors weigh heavily against release. The nature and circumstances of the offenses are as serious as they come, and while defendant has people who care about him and to whom he has been generous, that good side of him pales in comparison to his criminal history and characteristics. Moreover, 8+ years for offenses of this seriousness, including murder, simply does not amount to just punishment, even if some of that time was served in MDC Brooklyn in or during the COVID pandemic. Likewise, release of a recidivist, high-ranking mobster after less than 9 years following conviction for murder and racketeering would promote disrespect for the law. It is tragic when anyone dies in prison, but that outcome is not unexpected for a longtime mafia member and a high-level leader responsible for murder and other acts of violence, who earned a life sentence at the age of 73. For the reasons stated above, the motion is denied, signed by Judge Kathy Seibel. As for Madonna's bid for release, it states as follows. Order as to Matthew Madonna before the court is defendant Matthew Madonna's motion for reduction of sentence. Defendant was sentenced principally to life imprisonment on his conviction for racketeering conspiracy, a concurrent term of 10 years imprisonment on his conviction for conspiracy to commit murder in aid of racketeering, a concurrent term of mandatory life imprisonment on his conviction for murder in aid of racketeering, and a consecutive term of life imprisonment on his conviction for use of a firearm in connection with a crime of violence resulting in death. He has served about 8 years, 4 months. As I've previously mentioned, in denying release to co-defendant, it is tragic when anyone dies in prison, but one has to expect that fate when one leads a crime family and orders a murder in one's late 70s, after a lifetime of criminality and loyalty to the mafia. For the reasons stated above, the motion is denied. Signed by Judge Kathy Seibel on 10/6/2025. With these recent denials, Matty is 89 and Stevie is 78, with stage 4 cancer. Dying in prison is a reality. I never have and never will wish bad or ill will on anyone. What I can say is this: when people continue to do negative things, you only invite negativity into your own life. Matty and Stevie will live out their final days in federal prison. However, one of their co-defendants, who pled guilty before the 2019 trial, was Stevie Crea Jr. If you haven't liked this video yet, please take the time now and give it a like, as it helps with YouTube's algorithm. Anyone who'd like to show their appreciation for videos like this, or more importantly, help me to continue making them, you can donate with the Super Thanks icon down below, or through the PayPal Cash App links in the video's description. Let me quickly mention my blog, also called Sit Down News, especially for those of you who still enjoy reading. The site can be found at sitdownnews.com and is a paid subscription. Precisely on August 20th, 2019, Crea Jr. entered a guilty plea and pled guilty to murder conspiracy, assault charges, extortion, and gambling, in which he received a 13-year sentence in 2020. Strangely enough, the BOP website has Stevie Jr. listed as being in the RRM in New York, which is a halfway house on Varick Street in New York City. And the reason why I say it's strange is his release date is July 7th, 2028. And according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, inmates can be considered for residential reentry management program up to the final 12 months of their sentence. As I stated, Crea Jr. still has a few years before his release date.